The asking price is not the selling price. 248 properties came off the market. That is up over 66%. 18 contracts signed in the luxury market. That's 7 more than the week before. The resale market seemed to fare a little bit better. Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market, where I take a look at the luxury market, the Manhattan market, and the Brooklyn market. I do it because I want you to be informed. It never hurts when you're a consumer to be informed. Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. This is for the week of August 28th through September 3rd. I hope that you had a wonderful Labor Day and that you had a wonderful summer. Welcome to the early fall. We're going to get started in a moment. We're going to be looking at the luxury market, the Manhattan market, and the Brooklyn market. Then I'm going to wrap it all up. I'm going to give you my thoughts, my takeaways, my recommendations to buyers and sellers. If you are an active buyer or seller in the New York City market, this will be especially helpful to you. If you are a property owner in New York City, you will want to also stay tuned so that you know how this market, the current market, is affecting your position. Or if you're just someone who is interested in what is going on in this market of ours, you may want to stick around as well so that you can have an idea of what is going on here. Before I get started, I also want to say, in case you missed it, I did a segment for one of my listings at 652 Hudson Street in the meatpacking district of the West Village for Open House TV on NBC. You can still see it. It aired on NBC a couple of Sundays ago. You can still see it on YouTube. The links are posted below, so if you want to check that out. If you have any questions about 652 Hudson or any questions about the real estate market or any questions about anything in this report, feel free to post those below or reach out to me directly at Sotheby's. Okay, now we're going to get started with what happened last week in the New York City real estate market. As always, we're going to get started with what happened in the luxury market. Well, we had a better showing last week than the week before in the luxury market. There were 18 contracts signed for properties that were priced at $4 million and above. 3 of those were for properties that are in our trophy category, meaning they are properties that are priced at $10 million and above. 7 more contracts were signed in the luxury market than the previous week. So better showing in the luxury market than we had the week before, which is great. 11 of those properties were condos, 5 were co-ops, 2 were townhouses, 8 of those properties were uptown, 10 of those were downtown. The number one contract was the 79th floor at 432 Park. It was asking $92 million. It was reduced from $132 million when it was listed back in September of 2021. It is a full floor. This is a massive condo. It is over 8,000 square feet. It includes 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 2 powder rooms. It has spectacular views in all directions: Central Park, East River, Hudson River. Designed by architect Hiroshi Sugimoto, it features cedar shutters, 60-year-old bonsai trees, a tea house, and shikui plaster walls. It's a lime plaster system that is designed in Japan. And if I am saying this wrong, my apologies, but gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The seller purchased the unit for a little over $59 million in May of 2016. This is just a stunning apartment and a stunning sale. 432 Park is 96 stories high. It is made of concrete and glass, and it can be seen from almost anywhere in New York City. Amenities in this building include a fitness center, a 75-foot swimming pool, private dining room, parking, a garden, and children's playroom. The number 2 contract was Penthouse 7N at 169 Hudson Street. It was asking 18.295 million. It was reduced from 19.8 million when it was listed in March. The duplex condo has 5,269 square feet. It includes 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and 2 powder rooms. It has 2,500 square feet of outdoor space, including a terrace off the master and a rooftop terrace with an infinity pool. Amenities in this pre-work condo, which has 14 units, include a doorman, live-in super, fitness center, and storage. The seller purchased the unit only a year ago for $16 million. Okay. The total weekly asking price sales volume for last week was $219,325,000. Average asking price $12,184,722. Median asking price $7,245,000. Average discount from original ask to last asking price 24%. Average days on the market 777. Just a quick comment on the discount and on the days on market. We see this fluctuate quite widely. And this is because, sometimes these properties in the luxury end of the market, sometimes they're new developments, sometimes they're resales. In the luxury part of the market, very, very often, these are properties that are on the market for a while. It takes a while for them to sell, often. And if they've been on the market for quite a long time, there can be quite a large discount. So in this case, you can see in this particular week, we see a very large discount, 24%, and we see quite a high number of days on market. Is this truly significant? This 1 week look does not really represent a trend. If this is the first week you're tuning in and you see this, don't look at this and think, oh, wow, that's a really big deal. I should think that the luxury market is tanking in some way. It's not. Again, questions, post them below. Happy to answer them. We're going to move on now. We're going to take a look at what happened in Manhattan. So we know that we're in a kind of a summer slowdown. We are about to enter what is historically the very quietest period of the market. September is always our slowest month, historically speaking. We're definitely seeing signs of that. Plus, this was, we were heading into Labor Day, so this was a kind of a quiet week. Supply 145 for the week in Manhattan, down 8.2%. Contracts signed down almost 23%. 140 contracts signed for the week. 248 properties came off the market. That is up over 66%. Supply 668 for the month. That is down 41%, a little bit over that. Contracts signed 697. Again, reflection of this slowdown, seasonal kind of slowdown, down 24%, a little bit more than that. Off market, 709 properties came off the market for the month, and that is down a little over 16%. If we take a look at this market pulse, as I've been saying to you, this reading is showing a kind of a seller's market. It isn't truly a seller's market. It is simply a reflection of what's happening with the balance, meaning supply and demand. The supply is falling faster than the demand is falling. If we take a look at the liquidity pace, we can see this 30-day moving window that reflects the number of contracts that are signed in any given 30 days. 697, that is fairly low. We would expect to see this. We can see it has dropped notably at the end of this chart from where we were a few weeks ago. Again, this is typical of this time of year. The supply in Manhattan continues to drift lower. And again, we would expect to see this, likely to continue to see this pattern for the next few weeks. If we look at this rolling 6-month demand, we can see that the contract activity, things that are waiting to close, we're very likely going to see that it's going to start to decline a bit because the busiest part of our season up till now is behind us. And so as we move further into this slower period, we're going to see a bit of more of a drop off in the demand as it's reflected in these charts. The new listings again dropped to be expected this time of year. And the contract signed also dropped a bit. Okay, that is it for Manhattan. If you have any questions at all, please post those below. And now we're going to take a look at what happened in Brooklyn. So just as we saw with Manhattan, we also see with Brooklyn that the supply is down. 109 for last week, down almost 2%. Contracts signed also dropped over 21%. Only 91 contracts signed for the week. Off market up over 141%. 135 properties came off market last week. If we take a look at the 1 month look, we see that the supply is 500 for the month, down little over 39%. Contracts signed also down little over 31%, 455 contracts signed, and the off-market properties, 325, kind of a wash in terms of percentage change. Again, seller's market, even higher. This is looking to be a little higher of a read in terms of a market pulse read, meaning it's looking to be even more of a seller's market. We're seeing even more buyer demand. And again, not very much inventory, which is causing it to look even more like a seller's market. The liquidity pace, again, this is that 30-day moving window, contracts signed, 455. That is also significantly down from where it was. However, all things being equal, there is still more demand than there is supply. Let's continue to keep an eye on this as we make our way through these final quiet days of this seasonal slowdown and wait for the fall market to kick in. The supply does continue to shrink, not surprisingly. The demand also continues to tick down, perfectly normal. The new listings are essentially unchanged from the week before, and they remain quite low. Contracts signed, again, deal volume is low. And we would fully expect to see this time of year. Okay, that is it for Brooklyn. And now I'm going to give you my recap of where the market is at and give the buyers and sellers my strategies that will help them be successful in this market. So there were 18 contracts signed in the luxury market. That's 7 more than the week before. Luxury market is definitely holding fairly steady. So we can take a look at how the luxury market is performing. Both the resale market in Manhattan is showing a kind of a normal month for August, in terms of property types. And we can see that in Brooklyn, as well, both Brooklyn and Manhattan in the luxury resale market doing basically what it always does. If we compare Brooklyn and Manhattan, the new development versus resale, it actually, statistically, it looks like the market was a little kinder in August to the resale market versus the new development market in August. If you're a seller and you have a property priced in the luxury market category, you may or may not have had that experience. Everything has its own unique circumstance. Basically, Manhattan is as it has been, and Brooklyn the same. We see the inventory falling. It's likely to continue this way for the next few weeks while we wait for the fall market to kick in. The demand is the same. We see a decline. However, we're not falling off a cliff here in either Brooklyn or Manhattan. Things are quiet as we would expect them to be. And we're kind of holding steady while we wait for the fall market to kick in. Sellers, many of you I know, if you have been active, many of you decided you were going to take your properties off the market temporarily kind of sit on the side, wait for the market to wake up and for the buyers to come back into the market. And so, if you're going to do that, then you should be thinking about the timing of when you're going to come back on. You will want to consider that most contracts, historically speaking, in the fall market get signed in October and a bit of November. Most buyers need 30 days to run their cycle of looking and then making decisions. So, probably want to be coming on the market sometime in September. That gives people time to see your property, make their decision. If you have not had your property on the market, use this time to be getting ready, get your photos done, make sure everything's repaired, and make sure you are pricing properly. You don't want to be too ambitious in this market. Make sure you have a realistic asking price. And remember, the asking price is not the selling price. The asking price is part of the strategy intended to get buyers excited to come and see your property and to make competitive bids. You want to be, in the eyes of the buyer, the best in your class. Buyers, this is an excellent time for you to be making offers. The market is really about as good as it's going to get for you. We're really very, very close to that buy signal that I have been talking about. It won't this period, as I've mentioned, really won't last forever. Once the fall market kind of kicks in, this moment will likely pass. So begin to think about whether there are properties that you want to be making offers on, and you could even start making some probative offers. See if you can engage the sellers in the properties that you're interested in. This inventory is pretty much it until after this quiet period. So I was saying after Labor Day, but probably I would say easily for the next couple of weeks. We're not going to be seeing a ton of things coming on quite yet. Likely by the middle of September, we're going to start to really see, more properties coming on. So you'll have more choices. You may not have as much leverage with those sellers, depending on how they're priced, but you will have more choices. If you're really looking for leverage, buyers look to those properties that have been on the market for quite a while, 120 days or more. Every situation is different. However, that is often where you will see that you will have the most leverage. Okay, that is it for this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. As always, I want to thank Urban Digs and the Olshan Luxury Report. The work they do helps me help you to make great decisions. I'll be back next week with the very latest news on what's happening in the New York City real estate market. In the meantime, take care.